Well, the word got out that we'd written a film. I called it the Green Lake Treatment because I didn't even have a title for it. It came out, and word came out that we were going to show Christ as a clown. Well, which isn't quite true. We were not trying to show anything historical. It was all allegorical. And it wasn't a clown per se. It was like the French Comédie de l'art mime, the kind of thing that Jean-Louis Barrault did in Les Enfants du Paradis, if you remember this great film, The Children of Paradise. But it was picked up by Christianity Today, which is the official voice published then out of Washington, and sort of the official voice of the religious right in Protestantism at the time. And they condemned the film while the film was still on the bench, was still being cut. We were just beginning, And they had a drawing of a silly-looking clown with a bulbous nose riding the back of a donkey, sort of tacitly asking, "This is Christ." And of course, this isn't what we had in mind at all. But it got to a very powerful man, not only in the World's Fair, he was the commissioner of the World's Fair, but he was one of the most powerful men in New York building and building housing developments. And that was Commissioner Robert Moses. And Moses came out and said, well, he didn't think that was appropriate at all for the World's Fair, and would the Protestant Orthodox Council withdraw the film, just stop it. Well, that started a controversy. And there were people on the steering committee, people who were important in fundraising for the Protestant Orthodox Pavilion and consequently for the film and all that sort of thing. Very big people who resigned, important people. But the head of the council had enough courage to see it through. And when we finally finished it, they put it up to a vote. People could come and see it at the fair and then tell somebody at the end when they left, should they show it or continue to show it or not show it. Well, anyway, all kinds of things happened. Walter Cronkite devoted part of his program, the 5 o'clock news or 6 o'clock, whenever it came on, to the opening of Parable. People wrote in, somebody wrote in from Con Ed, which is Consolidated Edison, is the electrical, power giant in New York, and said that he was an executive with Con Ed, and if the film was shown, he would see to it that the electricity was cut off for the pavilion and the theater. Somebody else, a Lutheran minister from Long Island, wrote that if the film were shown, he was going to get his shotgun and come and blow holes in the screen. The film, of course, we didn't realize would have a life after the World's Fair. It was shot in 185:1 ratio, big widescreen for this pavilion, for this screening room in the pavilion that was built for it. And now it's been reduced to 3:4 ratio and 60 millimeter, and not our framing and all that. But anyway, the film went on. You know the rest. After all this controversy, it became a classic, and is still being sold and shown. It won all kinds of Catholic awards. It was shown a lot in Reformed Jewish temples, their youth groups and things like that. It went beyond what we ever expected it to go beyond. And it's interesting to note that in 1975, now the film came out in 64, so this was 11 years later, a women's group in Los Angeles got out and wanted to ban 10 films kept in the Los Angeles library as being subversive and un-American and un-Christian or whatever. And Parable was one of them. So even 11 years later, there were people that wanted to get rid of it. Well, when a film can offend certain groups like that, it really is saying something.